welcome to my channel, and put that seatbelt on because Slimfast UK have finally entered the keto market. So it was just launched this week. They've got shakes, they've got a bar, and also other things as well, which is what I'm doing today. They've got recipes. So Sunday is my meal prep day, as some of you guys know if you've been following me for a while. I thought for this week I will do some of their recipes on their website, and then next week use some of their products. So I will be doing a full product review and talk about the range and stuff that we have here, which is only just launched. It's not going to be massive, but I thought get my usual Sunday prepping done and get cooking some food. So I will flip you guys around and show you what I'm cooking from their website and some of the ingredients I've got here. In terms of the recipes, there's not many. They only have, I think, like 10 on there. Some of them look really interesting. Some of them weren't for me because I have things like mushrooms and stuff in, which I'm just not keen on. I could have adapted them, but I didn't want to do that too much today on the first recipe. But so I've gone for two things for today, just to see me through the week for some meals. And then I'll be having some of the shakes and the bar in the week when they arrive. Do not worry, I will link below not only the Slimfast website, the recipes that I'm cooking, but also in the links below I will leave an Amazon link as well. I think the products are launching and rolling out to the high street, like Boots and Superdrug, but you may not get them yet, and with the pandemic you might not want to go there yet. So I'll link you Amazon below, so you can pick up the bits and pieces if you want to give them a try as well. But let's get cooking first, and I'll show you what's on the menu. So these are my ingredients, and before I get cooking I just want to say, if you're not already, press that subscribe button underneath and ring that bell for when I do post things. I post about 3 times a week, sometimes more. And definitely next week, if you're interested in Slimfast Keto specifically, there's going to be show and tell stuff, talk about the plan a little bit more. I don't want to overdo one video, but I'll be talking about that during the week. So definitely press that subscribe if you want to know a little bit more and share your thoughts back with me as well. So I've gone for 2 recipes. I've printed them off the website. They're printed off pretty good. So I've gone for 2 things. One of them is, the first one I'm cooking is the keto ready lasagna. This is a really basic lasagna. And I've already plumbed into MyFitnessPal to build my recipes to see if mine kind of matching it. It's actually lower than theirs in terms of macros, sort of fats and stuff. So you only need sort of basically mince, cooked in sauce and cheese, and using courgette ribbons or zucchini ribbons to make your lasagna. There's nothing. You probably, if you've been doing keto a while, you've ever made a lasagna, you've probably done this yourself, but it's a nice one to get the ball rolling if you haven't. So I'm going to copy their recipe. Here is all the ingredients. Don't worry about screenshotting it. There'll be a link below at the end of the video. Just follow the link and you can print it out yourself. So some of this stuff here was a little bit questionable because, like it says, obviously ground beef, which we don't say ground beef, we say minced beef here. So I think this might be an American author, and it's just a standard. I went for the 5% because I just didn't want it swimming in fat. Part of the plan is they ask you to aim for about 1500 calories, and as I'm following the plan next week, I went for the slightly lower fat, and I want to aim for 1500, so I've reduced the fat down by using 5%. Sometimes I think the most I've ever seen is 20%, but it's just a standard, so so that was a bit different. And then there's marinara sauce. We don't really call it marinara sauce here, do we? I've never seen it called that. I just got this passata. This is from Sainsbury's. And it doesn't mention in here as well, like garlic and herbs. So I'm assuming in most American marinaras you get that stuff anyway. So I think this is probably just what we call it, this. And I'm going to use, it says 125 grams. I'm going to use the same equivalent, which is about that much. So that's the one I've gone for because it's pre-herbed. And then you got a courgette then with a tea peeler. I didn't have a tea peeler, but I used this fella on my grater, and it did a pretty good job, and it's really thin and ribbony. So if you've never used that fella on your grater, it's worth giving it a go because it's a lot cheaper than buying it done for you. And then a pot of ricotta and some mozzarella. We don't have, it says finely sliced. We don't get hard mozzarella here really. No one can find it, so I've had to go for the squidgy wet one, but I will finely slice that. A 9 by 9 inch. I don't know what that is in centimetres, but I've gone for this one because it's going to make 4 portions, and I think a quarter of that looks hearty, I think. And that's it. Ingredients, I believe. Yeah, that's your lot. So it's not a big deal. So basically, I'm sure you can imagine if you've ever made any sort of food, lasagna before, that you will preheat the oven, because it's going to go in the oven later on. You cook your mince in salt and pepper, and the thing I don't get here, it says cook for an hour on the stove, your mince. I've never cooked mince on my stove for an hour before, unless it's like actual big chunks of beef that are really tough. So I think this might be a little bit too high. I think it's like 30 minutes tops. But I will just cook my beef in the marinara. There's not that many ingredients to get this wrong. And then you just layer it up in your pan to make your layers. Pop it in the oven for half an hour. And then 10 minutes before the end, take the lid off so it will go brown. I might put a little parmesan on top as well. I'm trying to stick to the recipe as much as I can. When I put it all into my fitness pal, it did spit out a big difference on the calories. Now, as they want you to do 1,500 calories per day, I thought that was a good win for me. So it just happens to be what I got with that mince. Maybe if I used 20%, it would be closer to that. And the carbs were a little lower as well. Again, it's just as marinara sauce. You're left in the wild to pick your own. This one, the one that you get might be slightly higher, so that's what spat out mine. And the fat was massively different. It's actually less than half. Yeah, less than half. So again, I think it's obviously due to that beef. So I'm going to cook my mince, put in the 125 grams of marinara, cook that up, and then I'll start layering up my pan and pop it in the oven. And at the same time, I'm going to also oven my second item from the Slimfast website. So let's talk while I'm cooking this beef. So how the plan works, as far as I can glean from the website, there's quite a lot of information on there, which is helpful. The Slimfast does differ from this. Slimfast Keto does differ from the regular Slimfast. So this is the regular Slimfast is 2 shakes a day or meal bars, your main meal and 3 snacks. This is different. So basically their guidelines, this is to support your own keto journey rather than being it's like a plan on its own that you would follow. So the guidelines that they sort of recommend is you have 1,500 calories a day, and then you would have your regular macros in line with keto, so 20 to 30 grams of carbs, and then obviously proteins and things from there. And the products that they've brought out so far, first of all, are some shakes and a bar. And these shakes are not meal replacements in the same way that Slimfast regular is. These are sources of fuel, basically. They are MCT based drinks that also have vitamins and other stuff in it as well to give you a little bit of a support with your metabolism. So you would not have a shake for breakfast and one for lunch. You would have them alongside your regular breakfast, your regular lunch, or as a top up maybe at the end of the day, just to help you with your fuel and get your fat in. So I think they're about 200 calories, and I think they're about 15 grams of fat. And I know I sometimes struggle to get enough fat in. It's one of my problems. So it just happens to be in 3 flavors of the shake, and I think it was vanilla, chocolate and mocha, if I remember rightly. And then there's a bar. I can't remember the flavor of the bar. It's going to be some sort of chocolatey something. So that is what the products are. I will be doing a full show and product review in a week when I've had a chance to taste everything and make them up for you, so you can, I'll give you my thoughts on how they taste and how they blend, and how I'm going to use them as well. So they've got the recipes on there as well. Some of them are a little bit high for me, for my macros, but if you're following the 30 gram rather than 20, some of them would fit. There's also a couple of vegetarian ones on there, I think. There's a couple of desserts as well. I'm sure they're going to develop the recipe side, so that's why I wanted to start with this stuff first before actually the taste testing. So this beef, I've probably been cooking it for about 15 minutes, and it does cook to me, but it recommends an hour. I wonder if I've been doing minced beef wrong all this time and I should have been cooking it for longer. Also, even though that passata, that marinara, has got herbs and spices in it, I think I'm going to need to add in some more because I can't really smell garlic and I can't smell herbs. It could be just this particular brand. So I'm going to cheat and add in some more because I want to have 4 really nice lasagnas this week with loads of flavour. I do like my food to have lots of flavour. So I'm going to put the camera down, throw in some herbs and a little bit more garlic, and I think I'll be ready to start layering up after that. Right, the mince is done. I did it for 20 minutes. I don't think I needed to do it for an hour. I'm this is my bowl. I'm going to aim for 3 layers. I think that kind of sounds about right. So I've been a bit cheeky and divided it into 3 to help me do the layers. So I'm going to do the layer of minced beef, some ricotta. I've never actually used ricotta before, I don't think. And I wasn't quite sure if I needed it to warm it up to make it gooier, which I think seems to have helped. I'm not sure how I'm going to spread that. And I've got obviously my courgette, my zucchini layers. It did recommend to squeeze out any wetness, but there really isn't any. I think if you salted it, it would drip more, but I'm happy with a slightly moist lasagna. And then I've sliced out that mozzarella as thin as I can. I've mentioned it before, we can't really get hard mozzarella. I don't know anyone here, unless you go to a deli, like a proper private deli shop, one of those fancy ones, you might get it there. So it is soft mozzarella. And basically just layer of mince, courgette, or is it mince, cheese, courgette? Yeah, I think probably that way. So courgette goes on top. And do 3 layers. I might have a little bit too much of this as well. We'll see how we go. But I'm just going to layer it up. A little bit of mozzarella for the top. I might put a bit of parmesan on there as well because I can, and I've got some in my cupboard. And then throw it in the oven for half an hour until 10 minutes before the end. I think you take the lid off so it goes a bit golden. So let's get layering. So I did do the 3 layers. I used slightly less of this than it said. I possibly could have squeezed it all in there, but it's by the by. I feel like it's enough. Yeah. I think I could have done with a bit more minced beef, to be honest with you. So maybe next time I cook it, I'll get 750 gram rather than a 500 gram like the recipe says. But now I'm going to cover this with foil and pop it in the oven for half an hour, and then get working on the other thing I'm cooking today for meal prep for the week. Okay, so the next thing I'm cooking is their herby muffins, and at first glance I thought these are going to be like, you know, when you do a baked omelette, kind of, you know, the little egg bite kind of thing. But actually it's got coconut flour and almond flour in it, so it's not. I think these are more like little bread roll kind of things, like an actual muffin, which is interesting. Now I have made a couple of adjustments because I'll show you in a second. But so essentially you've got coconut flour, almond flour. Now I have not got this and I forgot to get it, and I don't know what it does. So can someone tell me what's going to go wrong and why I needed this? I've never used it before, so I haven't got none, but I have got baking powder, so that's good. And I've got all this as well. I've got the butter. It's not salted, so I'm going to manually add in salt and pepper anyway. Got my parsley, which I grabbed yesterday, and spring onions. Got my eggs. Now this is the change. Whole milk, maybe I should have used it, but I've actually decided to go with cream, double cream. It has affected the calorie count, but I just felt, you know, why not? And it also asks for a 6-hole muffin tin lined with paper cases. I haven't got a 6 one, I've got a 12, which is smaller. So I'm going to count, so instead of having 6 muffins, I'm going to make 12 half-size ones. You know, I can do the maths on that. Also I've noticed there's something missing. I read through the instructions. Sorry, real messy kitchen person. It mentions chives in this mixing in, but there's no chives on the ingredient list, and I haven't got any anyway because I didn't know to get them. So I'm going to go ahead with this. Now they have said well, for me it'd be 2 of these, but one large one will be 288, 9.9 protein, 4.7 carbs and 24 grams of fat, because I'm using cream, because I just feel more comfortable doing so. And we don't have milk in the house anyway. Paul, my partner, does not drink tea, so it would just be thrown away. He's bumped up those calories significantly. Protein's a little higher as well. The carbs are identical, but the fat is obviously higher. It is keto. You're supposed to be having a high fat diet, or higher fat. So you've got to make the decision with this 1500 calorie if you want the extra fat in there or not. If you want to stick to whole milk, that's how, you know, do whatever makes you feel comfortable. So I think essentially you mix everything up and throw it in the muffin pans, pop it in the oven. I think it's half an hour, 20 to 30 minutes until golden and skewer comes out clean. Now that is for 6 large ones. Because these are half sizes, it may take less, so it's going to be one that I'm going to have to keep my eye on. done the first part of the herb. It says here this mixing the batter with the coconut and the almond flour. It says it should be crumbly, but mine's more like dough, so I'm not sure if I've used too much butter. Not sure what happened, but I'm going to move on to the next stage, which is to mix the egg mixture with the herbs, and then once that's blended, put it all together and then divvy it up. So they are now mixed, put into the little silicone holders. I find these easier because you can just, these are really easy just to pull out and they don't burn. It was a very strange one to mix because when I did the milk cream mixture in with the dough, it came out like dough rather than crumbly. I had to get my hands in to give it a good mix. If you had a KitchenAid, something like that, or a home blender, it would be like a hand mixer. That'd be really easy. But I don't use one because my cats don't like noises. And that is the meal prep all done. I'm just letting these cool down, and the lasagna as well. I'm going to divide that up. I'll do a little taste test in a second to let you know what I think. And these are the muffins. They rose a little bit, but not as much as I kind of thought they were going to be. They obviously pack quite a punch with in terms of the macros. What I might do is sort of cut them in half, make little mini sandwiches with them, perhaps. Because even just one of them is going to be 215 calories or something, and 20 grams of fat, because obviously the cream I use rather than the whole milk. You may want to stick with the whole milk, and obviously 2 of these would be 288 calories, which might be a bit more fitting to your goals. Yeah, let me just divvy these all up and do a little taste test and let you know what I think. Okay, first of all, let's try this lasagna. It's good. It's a little dry, but that's because we are restricted on the sauce. But that's pretty nice, actually. Yeah, nothing wrong with that at all. Good calories, good flavour. Yeah, it's going to be nice for easy meals for the week, and I will be freezing this, I think, perhaps next time I make it, so I can bulk up my freezer. And then just try these muffins. I'm very interested about these herby muffins. Let's see. That's what they look like on the inside. Perhaps I should have shredded up my onion a little bit better and my parsley. Honestly, they taste really nice. They're a bit dry, but I think I mixed up. Maybe my eggs were too small. I needed a little bit more moisture, or a little splash of water or something like that. Or maybe the whole milk should have been used rather than the cream. Maybe I made an error, but they're very rich. They've got a lovely flavour, and they're really nice. Obviously, they are high on the calories, the calorie side of things. So if you want to use that whole milk rather than the cream like I did, maybe next time I will use whole milk instead. But yeah, they're really, really nice. Well, that's my meal prep done for the week. I'm now armed and ready. I'm going to put all this stuff away. I'm going to be spending the week trying the Slimfast products and letting you guys know what I think. So if you're looking to find out more stuff about the Slimfast UK keto range, press that subscribe button. I've lost 100 pounds so far following a keto lifestyle, and hopefully this may well be a part of my journey. It may not be, but I will let you know my thoughts in the week. So I'd love to have you. Let me know what you think below. Have you tried these recipes as well? Have you tried some of the other ones? Have you gotten as far as tasting the Slimfast shakes and the bar yet? Let me know what you think below. Have a fantastic week, my friends. I will see you in the week for all my reviews and thoughts about Slimfast Keto UK. Have a fab week, my friends, and I'll see you in the next one.